When we come back, let's take a look at the Neato D3 Connected. What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Review, where we take a look at product tips and how-to videos in the name of technology. As most of you know, I have a smart home. It's about 80% smart. The remaining 20% that isn't smart are like guest rooms and bathrooms. But about a year ago, when I finished building my smart home, my wife goes, "This is awesome, but it would be even better if I can get Alexa to clean up for me." Since then, the gears inside my brain has been, turning. I did some research on automated robot vacs and decided which features were a must for me. The only problem was price. The design of the vac, whether it be D-shape or circle, didn't matter to me. I just wanted a vacuum with some sort of navigation so it can clean more methodically. But those vacs can cost an upward of $500. One particular model I had my eyes on was the Xiaomi Mi Robot Vacuum. The price for that vac ranged between $300 to $450 at the time. Right now, I think you can probably get it for around $279. The Xiaomi is a cheap alternative to the high-end Roomba vacs with the same amount of tech built in. My home layout isn't that complicated, so the added tech such as LDS, sensors, and SLAM algorithm and multiple processors didn't appeal to me much. I don't buy into those manufactured specified features. And apart from that, a lot of people say in the US, support for the vac is terrible. So if you want a trouble-free purchase where you know you'll have someone you can contact for support, don't get the Xiaomi. Get a robot vac that's genuinely sold in the US. So a week ago, I came across the Neato D3 Connected on Amazon for $199. which is the cheapest this vacuum has ever been according to Triple Camel. I brushed it off because I thought it was a random pattern robot vac, like the cheap D-bots. But when I price matched it through other retailers such as Best Buy, I actually discovered this vac was going for an upwards of $300. I read the feature list on Best Buy and found that the vacuum does indeed have laser navigation. As a matter of fact, all Neato bots have laser navigation. They don't make one that doesn't. But this has laser navigation, Wi-Fi, app, Alexa, and Google support, and comes with lithium ion instead of nickel metal, which was a complaint from users with older Neato vacs. But I put it off thinking maybe a better deal would come along. And a better deal did kind of come along. I ran into the D-Bot N79S. This vac happens to be Amazon's best seller, and for good reason too. The reviews are mostly positive, and yes, I verified the comments using FakeSpot, but the N79S does not have navigation, although a lot of reviews state that not having navigation doesn't make the N79S less effective at cleaning. I was just about to pull the trigger on the N79S until I remembered that the Neato D3 was about the same price and had navigation. So I ended up pulling the trigger on the Neato D3 instead. So as you can see, the D3 has already been unboxed. So here's the front. This is the bumper. It's very delicate, but basically it's basically a switch. So when it hits one of your furniture, that's how the D3 knows something is there. I thought the front was rubberized, but it turns out that it is not rubberized. It's plastic. So yes, it is going to get scuffed up a little bit, and it might scuff up some delicate furniture of yours. But basically the vacuum is able to lift this high up. And now this allows the vacuum not only to go from a flat floor to a high carpet, but it also allows the vacuum to wiggle itself out of a situation if it gets stuck. And if you look underneath the vac here, you got the rubberized rover reels. This thing looks like it can go on the moon. You have the bristle. You have the brush head here. This is a special brush head. They give you a pet hair brush head. So basically it's rated for pet hair. It has soft brushes, and then it has a rubberized squeegee like thing here. and it's supposed to be really good with cleaning up pet hair. So it's not a smart bin. It doesn't monitor the load inside the bin and alert you when it needs to be emptied. But it does have a timer, so basically you can set the timer up to remind you to empty the bin every day or every 2 days or every cleaning cycle and so on. But yeah, if you get the alert to empty out the bin, it's not because it's smart, it's because it's just running on a timer. And then up here we have 2 notification lights. This top one right here, that looks like a battery, that's pretty much the battery light. Green means it's ready to go, amber means it's just about to be dead, and red means it's dead. This right here, if it's blue, if it's solid blue, that means everything is good. It's connected to Wi-Fi and you're ready to clean. If it's blinking red like this, that means that the vac is in an awkward position or needs help or so on. And that's because I'm holding it up like this. That's why it's blinking like that. If I put it back down, the light will shut off. That's it. And then this right here is a button. So pushing it once will send it into cleaning mode and it will clean your entire house. Pushing it twice will activate spot cleaning. And that's when you put it in front of your mess, hit it twice, and then it'll do spot cleaning. And this is the charging base. Nothing special about it. These are where the sensors are to allow the allow the D3 to find its way back home. These right here are pretty much the connectors to start charging it. The D3 will pretty much just wiggle its butt all the way until it makes contact like that. But a very standard charging base. It is, I believe it is a fast charger, so it will rapidly charge your D3.
So what about the Neato? Let's start with the cons. What's the build quality like? Well, I mean, it feels pretty good. It has a bit of weight to it and the plastic doesn't feel soft, but it can still get scuffed with paint from your walls, but it should clean up easily. The top part that protects the laser is another story. Because the D3 will aggressively try to break out free if trapped, this cover can become collateral damage depending on the situation the D3 finds itself in. You can see that this one is pretty scuffed up already, and I've only had it for 4 days. The filter that comes in the box are those coarse filter pads they usually use for fish tanks. You can probably buy a more robust pad online from Amazon, or just go grab a furnace filter from Walmart and make your own as shown. And a lot of people complain that the filter is hard to clean. Just use a soft toothbrush and it'll clean right up. What about cleaning? One word: excellent. This vac does an amazing job with cleaning. That's probably due to the D-shaped design that allows the cleaning brush to be wide, unlike the brushes found on the circle vacs, and of course the navigation. My office, kids' playroom, kitchen, living room, and hallway are all tiled. They equal about 800 square foot. We do a deep cleaning with a vacuum and mop once a week, but sand and dirt still find a way back on the floors. We can't necessarily sweep or vacuum it daily because both my wife and I work full time. And our Dyson only has a runtime of 20 minutes, which wouldn't be enough to clean 800 square foot. The Dyson is only meant for, spot cleaning. And sweeping 800 square foot, I don't think you'll find a single person that would do that. In comes the D3. It picks up everything, gets everywhere, and best part is we can run it every day without feeling guilty. We can put it on a schedule or just tell Alexa or Google to start cleaning. We choose to not put it on a schedule and just tell Alexa to clean our floors. Here is that in action.
Computer, ask Neato to start cleaning. Computer, ask Neato to pause cleaning.
docking R2D3.
Ask Neato to return to base.
OK, docking R2D3.
Reason why we do it this way is because the area must first be prepped before starting the vacuum. This means picking up big items, cords, toys, trash, and clearing some way. Once you get this down pat and fix the areas the vacuum usually gets stuck at, you can do a quick prep at night and have the vacuum clean while you sleep or while you work the following day. I've done both. For me, I only have one trouble spot. At the bottom of my fish tank stand, there's a curved cutout. The D3 has no issue going under, but if it moves under the fish tank and tries to come out off center, the D3 can't get out due to the laser sitting on the top. This is where the laser's top cover got damaged. Blocking off access under the fish tank easily solves this. So now I can just prep the area and have the D3 clean without anyone around. I might eventually put it on a schedule, but I just feel better having it run when I'm home just in case something happens, I can intervene. The laser navigation works as intended. Sometimes the D3 seems to be going in a random pattern, but I think it's actually scanning the area because after it stops acting random, it starts to clean the edges first, then starts its methodical cleaning, going up and down until the entire area has been cleaned. It's fascinating to see the D3 swerve around furniture without hitting it, but of course that's after it learns there's something there by hitting it. It's just cool to see a machine remember that there's something there or that it's cleaned this area already. As I said before, the D3 supports Google and Alexa and has an app. With Google and Alexa, you can tell them to start cleaning, pause cleaning, or return to base. I find controlling the D3 with Alexa so much easier than with Google. For Google, you have to tell Google to talk to Neato, then give your command. With Alexa, you just tell her to tell Neato what you want to do, and Neato does it. With the app, you get a clean interface. To get started, all you do is create an account, connect your D3 to your Wi-Fi network, add your D3 to the app, give your D3 a unique name, and you're good to go. From the app's homepage, you can start cleaning, check battery life, view cleaning options such as spot clean or whole house clean, which also gives you the option to clean in gentle mode. You can view cleaning summary, maps, history, and cleaning time. And finally, you can set your D3's 7-day cleaning schedule. Once you set up the app, you also have access to the app using your Wear OS watch. From the watch, you can view battery life and start-stop cleaning. It's limited, but still a plus. And finally, if you're tech savvy, you can add your D3 to SmartThings. Being a smart product, the possibility of what you can do is great. So there are some IFTTT applets you can use for this vacuum. You can have IFTTT pause your cleaning session if someone calls you. This doesn't work as intended on my Pixel 2 though. When I hang up the call, that's when the D3 will pause its cleaning session. That's kind of pointless if you ask me, but your mileage may vary, so give it a shot. However, there is one applet I use that works. When someone rings my Ring doorbell and the D3 is vacuuming, it will pause its cleaning session so I can talk to whoever is at the door. Then I can just tell Alexa to start cleaning again. So just how loud is this thing? Well, it's not loud at all. I measured it at only 75 decibels. Comparing it to my Dyson that comes in at 88 decibels on max mode and 85 decibels in normal mode. Of course, at 75 decibels, it's not loud enough to drown out the sound of your television, but it is loud enough to annoy you, especially if you're really into what you're watching. So how accurate is the mapping? Well, it's scary accurate. When the D3 cleans the entire house with no issues such as getting stuck, the map that it produces when it finishes is crazy. It's an exact blueprint of your house. I was able to import the map into other apps that overlay a Wi-Fi heat signature over the blueprint so I can better see my Wi-Fi coverage. I was really impressed when I got my first complete cleaning map. Then again, I've never had a robot vacuum with mapping, so I have nothing to compare it to. I'm sure others produce just as good as a map, but I like how clean the Neato does it. Basically, everything in light blue represents where the D3 has cleaned, and everything in navy blue is where the D3 has not cleaned, due to either a piece of furniture in the way or a door closed. Now if you look at a map from a Yummy Vac, it shows a lot more information, and that's cool, but I like the simplicity of Neato's map. And just an FYI, Roomba's map looks similar to the Neato's map. They seem to have used a green and white color scheme compared to Neato's blue and navy blue. So what are some cons? No, there aren't a lot. But for one, there isn't a side brush on the D3. If you want a side brush, you will need to get the D5. However, there is a debate online on whether a side brush is more cumbersome than useful. I can't comment on that because as of right now, I've never had a robot vac, but I can tell you that the D3 doesn't have one. So if that feature is a must for you, look into the D5. With the D5 also comes a heftier price tag, but like I said before, the D3 does an amazing job cleaning corners and all. So I can't see a side brush making that much more of a difference. Runtime isn't all that bad. The vacuum will go for about an hour before it needs charge. For my house, all I need is about an hour and 10 minutes and my whole house would be clean if the battery allowed that extra 10 minutes. So after an hour, what happens in real life is that the D3 has to charge up again to finish cleaning the last 10 minutes. And this feature is not on all robot vacs, so pay attention to that feature if you want your vac to remember where it left off when the battery died. My cleaning area is about 800 square foot, according to the Neato app. So I would say an hour will give you about 700 square foot of cleaning time based on the statistics that the Neato app provides. Some other vacuums have a longer runtime, so if runtime is important to you, know that the D3 has an average runtime. It's not bad, but it's not great. But do keep in mind that when you compare runtimes, make sure the vacuum you're comparing to the D3 also has some sort of laser navigation. Because a vac that cleans in a random pattern may have better battery life, yes, but guess what? Because there is no method to how it cleans, you're not going to necessarily have a better runtime to area cleaned ratio because the vac will spend a good amount of time going over areas it already cleaned. Having some sort of navigation will keep that down to a minimum, allowing for a more efficient use of battery life. And again, because the D3 remembers where it left off, it will go back to the base, charge up, and continue cleaning the rest of the house. So the battery runtime is not a deal breaker at all. For the most part, the D3 can find its way back home. However, it must have a trouble-free clean in order to return home with no issues. Even if it does have a trouble-free cleaning, sometimes it will forget where home is. If it gets stuck, moved, or confused about its surroundings, the D3 will alert you through the app letting you know it's lost. If that's the case, be sure to move it just slightly from where it got stuck to prevent throwing off navigation. But like I said, do your prepping to prevent any issues such as closing the doors to rooms you don't want to clean, blocking off area the D3 can get trapped at, and picking up any hazardous items to the vac and your D3 should always be able to find home. Spot cleaning requires some work, which is why it's on the cons list. So if you have a small portable Dyson like me, or any small portable vacuum cleaner, it might be easier to just grab it and spot clean. Usually spot cleaning takes less than a minute. With the D3, you will need to pick it up, move it to the front of the spot you want to clean, and turn on spot clean by pressing the button 2 times. The D3 will clean a 4x6 virtual area. Once it completes the spot clean, you will have to pick it up and put it back on the base manually. This is why I say grabbing a portable vac might be easier. However, if you haven't used the D3 to do an entire house clean yet, you can just do that and the messy spot will be cleaned alongside your entire house. No remote functionality. For such a sophisticated piece of equipment, it lacks a very basic feature: the ability to manually drive it. The D3 does not come with any remote, nor does the app have the ability to manually drive the D3. This was done by design. If the D3 had manual mode, then this would have been easier to use for spot cleaning than using a portable vac. I could have just sat on my couch and directed D3 to the mess. But unfortunately, I had no idea that the D3 lacked this feature. Had I known, it would have probably been a deal breaker, but oh well. So given all the pros and cons of this vac from a tech point of view, what does the wife say? Easy. She loves it. It's the best smart home purchase I've made in her opinion, and she would recommend it to anyone who's looking to get away from vacuuming. So she gives it an A+ and 2 thumbs up, which is weird because I'm the one that usually vacuums, so it's not like she had to vacuum before. And that about does it for this full review on the Neato D3 Connected robot vacuum. Hope I was able to give you information you needed to make your decision on which vac you should get. If you liked the video, be sure to give me thumbs up. If you didn't and you thought it was awful and totally not helpful, thumbs down work also. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Now if you excuse me, I need to vacuum.